Welcome back everybody to another New Comic Book Day Wednesday, this time for July 16th, New Comic Book Day. Of course, I'm outside of Casablanca Comics. Got a nice comic book haul here in a second once they open up and I can go get them, showed up a little bit too early. But I also wanted to show you guys something else, right? So longtime fans will know Wednesday is also the day I go get a Chicago dog, dude. So gotta give you guys a look. It's been a while, right? So this is the Chicago dog for today. So other topics today include comic book reviews. We review everything that I read for last week, New Comic Book Day, July 9th. We also answer the question, if I had to restart my pull list from from the very beginning, from scratch, what are the 10 comic book series that I would have to have on that pull list? I'd be curious to know what you guys have on that list. We also talk about the DC Connect for the month of July, things that are coming out from DC Comics in the month of September. If you guys missed it, yesterday I posted a top 5 indie comic book series with Kai Bucks. We make a lot of top 10 lists usually for the month, but we're also doing some other lists as well. We talk about top 5 indie comic book series of the year so far. Also check out what I posted on Monday, an action figure haul for my favorite Superman that McFarlane's ever released. But yeah, that's what we got. So definitely stay tuned for the comic book haul. And yeah, the rest of the comic book topics. Use the chapters down below to skip around. A like really helps out these small channels, so does a sub. I'm trying to find the comic book community, guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And let's get on with the rest of the topics. All right, guys, so I got the comic book haul. Got some bad news though. We were affected by some delays. This was bound to happen at some point. Oh, I didn't get backs and I didn't get backboards either, dude. Just a terrible New Comic Book Day all around, dude. I might go in and get some backboards. At least we got the Dan Morris Superman movie cover, dude, for Krypto, the Last Dog of Krypton. They had this on the stands. I thought, why not? Since my week was gonna be lighter because half of my books aren't here, dude. Really tragic stuff. Finally got hit with some delays. We also have Robin and Batman Jason Todd #2. Guys, I'm missing out on Absolute Batman this week. Really unfortunate. Gonna have to come back in the next couple days to get it. But we still have this Jeff Lemire and Dustin Wynn series to look forward to. Man, I'm super sad, dude. Really sad. But we got Far Down Below, issue #4. Loving this series from Mad Cave Studios. Think Chris Condon's doing some great stuff. Really think that the artwork is pretty charming as well. Looks like, yeah, just continuing this fun, diving deep under the earth kind of series, like a journey to the center of the earth type of thing. We also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue #10. I've been loving this series, glad I hopped back on it. And yeah, just looking forward to Jason Aaron continuing this story. Juan Ferraro with his incredible artwork. I'm hoping that this scene, okay, what I was hoping was gonna happen in the next couple issues, looks like it's happening. All the 4 brothers finally gelling, getting together. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. We have Superman Unlimited issue #3. Looking forward to this. I think Dan Slott's doing a great job with this one. Looks like we get Krypto introduced in the story, man. Krypto's having a renaissance right along with Superman, dude. I really love it. Yeah, looking forward to Superman Unlimited issue #3. Raphael Albuquerque's look for Superman is just incredible. Really enjoy it. I think that the story so far is pretty interesting. Looks like we're doing some flashbacky type stuff to, back in the Superboy type of days. And yeah, just looking forward to seeing what Dan Slott has cooking for this series so far. I think that the new Superman power is pretty interesting too. Kind of the limits on it too are pretty smart. So we have Wonder Woman issue #23. Got to catch up. I haven't caught up with all the Mouseman stuff. I think the last 2 issues I got to read. But Wonder Woman issue #23. Tom King. Sam Pierre looks like he's on the art for this one. Yeah, pretty so-so on the series overall. I don't want to get into it right now. It might be for its own video or something like that. And then last but not least, another extra for the day. We have the Man of Steel, the #1 part of the 6-part, of the event. Yeah, thought this cover was really cool. So thought I would put it somewhere on my background, dude. The beginning of Superman's origin back in the day. So that's what we got for New Comic Book Day. Man, the delays really hurt me, dude. So we don't have Absolute Batman. We don't have Absolute Flash. Let me just go through. There's 4 other ones. I have them on my League of Comic Geeks. We also do not have Nightwing #128. We do not have Batman and Robin Year 1 issue #9. We don't have The New Gods issue #8. And then last but not least, we do not have Krypto, the Last Dog of Krypton. So that's what we got for New Comic Book Day. Lighter week today due to all the delays. Pretty unfortunate. but we'll pick those up sometime soon, hopefully. But yeah, let me know what you guys are picking up for New Comic Book Day. Thank you guys for watching this part and continue with the rest of the video. Welcome back everybody to your weekly comic book review. As you can see, we got a nice big stack. This is 7 different things that came out for July 9th, New Comic Book Day last week. Let's get into it, man. Let's start off with Fantastic Four issue number 1. So this is a new volume starting up from Marvel Comics. It's still got Ryan North writing. He was the writer for the last volume, continuing his awesome series. We get new artist on here with Humberto Ramos. And yeah, I thought this was a great issue to this Fantastic Four volume. So I was reading the last volume in trade paperbacks. So when this new volume was starting up, a new number 1 to jump onto, I knew it was the perfect time. Essentially, all the different Fantastic Four members are split across 4 different eras on Earth. So they've gone into the time stream or whatever. We got Johnny back before any life on Earth. We have the Thing, he's stuck in like the dinosaur times. We have Reed, who's stuck in, I don't know, some time back in the day, right? And then Sue Storm, she's all the way out in the future. So really interesting stuff. How the hell are they all gonna meet back up? So yeah, interesting kind of stuff in this first issue. I loved it, man. Really fun sci-fi goodness from Ryan North. Next up, let's talk about Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees the Rite of Spring. So this is a 2nd volume. You gotta read the original Beneath the Trees series, but it's just excellent stuff, man. Definitely recommend it. It's got this art style that you see here on the cover from Patrick Horvath. He's writing, drawing, and doing the coloring. The only thing he's not doing is the lettering. That's from Hassan Otsmane-Alehu, a legend. So in this series, right, the first volume, this is a serial killer bear named Sam. She lives in like a small town, and she goes into the city to do a couple of her murders, right, her serial killings. Then she comes back to her small town just to live her life. Turns out, in the last volume, she killed somebody, and this is that person's sister. So she's been on a quest to find what happened to her brother for like 8 years now. And yeah, through the advancement of stuff like the internet, she's starting to piece it together, get closer and closer. So she's looking for her brother that she murdered in the last volume, man. So interesting stuff with this issue number 1. Glad to be back in Woodvale. It's got this art style, man. Really, really unique kind of stuff. Storybook looking, but very sinister, very gory at times too. So Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, great kind of horror series out of IDW. I recommend it. You gotta check out that first volume though, really good stuff there. Let's talk about the Superman Treasury 2025 Hero for All. This is from Dan Jurgens, Redondo, Felipe, and Adriano Lucas on the coloring. This thing is massive. Here, let me hold it up to my head real quick. If you guys didn't see the comic call, this thing is massive, dude. So big fan of the Treasury edition. I just think that the oversized kind of widescreen look that they give a comic book is really cool stuff. This issue wasn't like the best Superman thing I've ever read, but the artwork from Redondo is stunning, with Felipe on additional inks and then Lucas on the coloring. It's just great stuff, man. I really like Redondo's take on Superman. I think it's got some really cool modern flair, modern style to it. The story itself here is nothing too crazy. It's just an alien invasion on Earth. Superman gets caught up. He breaks out and saves the planet, right? We get a lot of cool different cameos from other members of the DC universe. Couple villains too, Superman villains. Interesting kind of what if little scenario as Superman's under mind control and they're kind of trying to get him to be complacent so he doesn't break out and save the world. Just a pretty basic Superman story on its surface. Honestly, didn't have a lot of it didn't push the boundaries in terms of like heart or anything, right? It didn't make me tear up or anything like that. Just a fun Superman story for the summer. So yeah, definitely check out. I just like the art. The art was really what was doing the most of the heavy lifting for me on that one with Redondo. Speaking of Superman, let's talk about Absolute Superman, dude. Issue number 9, Jason Aaron's just cooking, man. So Superman, Absolute Superman is back in the fight in this one. So after being healed with the mother box, because in the last issue he got shot with some kryptonite bullets, right? So he's been healed by the mother box and he's going with this insurgent sort of rebel group. He's going with them to go out in the field on a mission, right? And yeah, man, I'm just really loving Rafa Sandoval's art. Really loving this look for Superman. Great moments with this Superman and this Jimmy Olsen. This Jimmy Olsen is really starting to grow on me, right? You're starting to see kind of the similar flavors that we would expect to see in a Jimmy Olsen character. And yeah, man, just an awesome series. I think this might be my favorite Absolute title. It might be, honestly. It's either that or Absolute Martian Manhunter, but Just insane stuff, man. Really, really enjoying where this series is going. The Omega Men rebels that Superman has joined. Excited to see how that, how they go up against Ra's al Ghul. Really cool, man. So Batman Dark Patterns is my favorite Batman book on stands, without a doubt. Get some excellent crime noir writing from Dan Watters, who I know really excels at writing crime and noir stuff. And then we get some awesome artwork from Hayden Sherman. So Hayden Sherman is just on fire. Really excellent stuff all throughout indie, working on DC with absolute Wonder Woman, of course. And yeah, the coloring from Farrell as well on the Hayden Sherman artwork is just insane, man. So Batman is still trying to solve this murder that happened in like this area of Gotham that kind of relates back to something in Gotham's past, like an old gang that was supposed to be long gone, but they've sort of kind of re-emerged. So it's really interesting what's going on here. But just that artwork from Hayden Sherman, I'm just loving it. So yeah, the combo of excellent crime noir from Dan Watters, big fan of his stuff when he was doing the One Hand Six Fingers with Ron V, great crime and noir series out of Image Comics. So I knew that he would be coming on to a Batman series would be really cool, but then you pair him up with Hayden Sherman, such a cool look for Batman, really, really awesome, classic sort of feel to it. Let's talk about the Power Fantasy issue number 10. This issue was awesome, man. Just stepping it up issue by issue. Kieran Gillen, Casper Wingard. I'm loving this world that they're building, right? We get kind of a glimpse at the timeline. It's a little bit jumpy, this series. Like, we're going in the past, we're going to the present day. Quite often, Kieran Gillen's just having to jump all around. I don't know, learning more and more about this world, about what happened, the timeline, starting to piece things together, all the different revelations. Every single issue has this crazy discovery that'll just like blow your mind. But look at the artwork from Casper Wingard, dude. Casper Wingard and Kieran Gillen are just on fire with this series, man. This has to be my favorite Image comic book on stands. It's just such a good ongoing series, one that really rewards you with every single issue. Kieran Gillen's like, yeah, just stick with me, guys. We're really moving to something here. So yeah, man, I just love the series. All the different superpowered people trying really hard not to blow up the world. It's got that kind of mutually assured destruction from all the different, Cold War type of era. It's got that kind of theme to it. I'm loving it, dude. Power Fantasy. Definitely one to check out. A couple more issues here, guys, and then we got 2 more. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, issue number 2. So this series is fun, right? It's just a fun summer series. We got Miles Morales in the Ultimate Universe going all around. So in the last one, he was interacting with the Ultimate Spider-Man characters like Peter Parker and his son. And this one, he's going to I believe he's going to Wakanda, right? And they're just trying to find his sister. Eventually in this issue, he gets to Wakanda. And yeah, Miles Morales is just on a quest to find his sister, lost somewhere in the Ultimate Universe. And a bunch of the Ultimate Universe characters also want to get the sister. She's like an anomaly or whatever. So Miles is trying to save her before. Anyways, oh yeah, that was the last issue. I thought there was 2 more, but that was it. So that's what we got. 7 comic book reviews for you guys. July 9th, New Comic Book Day. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought about them. All right, guys, today we're answering the impossible question. If you could only have 10 different things on your comic book pull list, what 10 things would you have? So these are the 10 picks that I have, the 10 most important comic book series that if I restart my list today, I would have to tell my comic book shop, add these to my pull, dude. So let's get into it, man. The way I broke it down, we've got 4 DC series, we've got 1 Marvel series, and we got 5 different indie series that I've got to make sure are on my pull list, man. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the DC stuff. Absolute Superman is my favorite Absolute title. My favorite, maybe my favorite DC title out right now. And it's definitely my favorite Superman title for sure. So Absolute Superman, I've really been enjoying. Jason Aaron's writing, a little bit slow to start, but I've really been enjoying the direction that the series is going. All the different changes to the Superman's lore, more of a tragic origin story. I like the supporting cast that we have so far with the Jimmy Olsen and the Lois Lane. Jimmy, part of the Rebel Alliance, that's pretty cool. The version of Ra's al Ghul, we saw a little bit at the Absolute Brainiac as well, right? So yeah, I'm just liking all the different changes. I like the direction that the series is going in, and I think that the characterization for this Kal-El is really, really strong, man. So yeah, but loving Absolute Superman. Excited to see what happens next. The reason why this is on there is, man, I couldn't wait for this series in like a trade or something like that. Every single issue that comes out, I gotta read it pretty much when I get back from the comic book store, man. So Absolute Superman has a nice place on my list of top 10 things that I've gotta add. So does Absolute Batman, dude. So Although this isn't my favorite absolute title, it's not even my favorite Batman title on stands right now, it's something that I've got to add to my pull list if I had to restart it, man, because you never know what's gonna happen in this series. You know, Scott Snyder could put something totally wild in here. You know, like every issue isn't a banger, but there's a lot of bangers, you know what I'm saying? So like the Mr. Freeze stuff, I really enjoyed both those issues. The Bane, the introduction of Bane, it's right back up to the peak that the series has been so far, right? So although I haven't loved every single issue, I think that it's still, you never know what Scott Snyder's gonna do. Nick Dragotta on the art. The artwork is always insane. I flip right to this disgusting abomination from Nick Dragotta. And yeah, like all the changes to Batman's lore. I've been loving Absolute Batman. That's one that I've got to have on my pull list. You never know what's gonna happen month to month in this crazy, crazy series. Let's talk about Absolute Martian Manhunter. So this is gonna be the last Absolute title on this list. And I think that's because with the Flash, the Wonder Woman, and the Green Lantern, if worst comes to worst, I could wait and read those in a trade. I would enjoy it, right? Because I've been loving all the Absolute titles. But if I had to, you know, exclude some of them off my pull list, I could wait on those for a trade. But this series in particular, it's incredible, dude. With Javier Rodriguez's art, you never know quite what to expect in this series. And Dennis Camp as a writer too. So I think this combo, it's not something that I could wait in a trade, I guess is what I would say. I'd have to have it in a physical version. I've got to have this physically, especially if that first issue, you never know if Dennis Camp's gonna be doing some weird, oh, it's gotta be physical when you read this book, you know? Just love all the different story beats, all the different emotional beats. I think the kind of dynamic between the Martian and John is kind of interesting, right? All the different art from Javier Rodriguez. It's just an incredible series, man. One that I would need physically. Wouldn't be able to do it, wait for a trade or read it digitally only. So those are my first 3 picks. That's just how it is, man. I've been loving Absolute. So the last DC series in this top 10 series that I've got to pull, it's got to be Batman Dark Patterns. So really been enjoying this from, you know, from Dan Waters writing it, and we got Hayden Sherman on the art. I think that combo together is why I've got to pull this series, man, because this is my favorite Batman book on stands right now. I've really been enjoying Absolute Batman, right? But something about this series is really, really cool. It's got Dan Waters doing not basic, but like your down to earth, like crime and noir sort of writing that he really excels at. And that's something that I really look for in a Batman series. Sometimes you just want a down to earth kind of simple Batman story, nothing too crazy, magical, space out there, sci-fi, whatever. You just want like a normal sort of Batman story. So Dan Waters has been delivering that every single time. And then Hayden Sherman's artwork. Such a cool look for Batman, very classic sort of feeling. And yeah, man, so this is Hayden Sherman's look for Batman. Excellent artwork all throughout, excellent coloring as well from Farrell on Hayden Sherman's stuff. And I just like, I don't know, I just like Dan Waters' sort of crime and noir writing. I think it's really strong. So if I were to recommend a Batman series, like an underrated one for sure, it's gotta be Batman Dark Patterns. It's my favorite one on stands. Don't read Hush 2, you know what I'm saying? Pick this up instead. But anyways, moving on to the only Marvel comic on this list. We got to get Ultimate Spider-Man on this list, man. So the Ultimate titles, it was really hard to choose because, you know, I don't read a ton of Marvel, but I knew that an Ultimate title had to be on this list. And I was choosing between this and another one. And I think the same reason that I chose Absolute Batman, you got to read Ultimate Spider-Man month to month. You never know what Jonathan Hickman has coming. If it's going to be a crazy reveal, you don't want that spoiled, right? And you need it physically. I've been collecting this series from the start, issue number 1, cover A, all the way to now, first printing, right? And yeah, it's just not something that I could drop. If I needed to restart my pull list, this would have to be on it. Even though every single issue isn't a banger, like those little interstitial issues where they have a different artist where it's not Kaketo, right? Those are okay, but they're not what I'm looking for in the main series. But then when you get back to the main series, like this issue in particular, excellent stuff, man. I'm hooked as far as the story goes. Jonathan Hickman is just giving us little bits here and there, but I'm hooked all the way through. So this series is definitely gonna be on my list. Now let's get into the indies, right? So we're taking everyone down with us. This series is just blowing me away, dude. So Matthew Rosenberg writing, it's a sort of like a spy series, a very comedic spy series with Landini on the artwork. It's just incredible, man. There's a ton I could say about this series. I just really hope that we get more in this universe that Matthew Rosenberg and Landini are creating. It's so funny. I guess I'll just reiterate that multiple times. This series is just so funny. Really strong protagonist, cool sci-fi as well. And yeah, we need more spy series in the world, dude. So we're taking everyone down with us from Image Comics. Nice place on my top 10 pulls, dude. Let's talk about the Power Fantasy. It's gotta be my favorite Image comic book on stands. So many gears turning, so many different moving parts in this series from Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard. But they're just such a great duo working together. The world that they've created, all the different characters from Kieran Gillen, all the different character designs from Casper Wingard. Just this book is probably the most beautiful looking book on stands right now. The fact that Casper Wingard does the coloring and the artwork as well. It's just incredible, man. I'm really loving kind of the timeline of this and how everything is shaken out, all the different revelations that Kieran Gillen has given us issue to issue. It's just incredible stuff, man. One that really rewards month-to-month reading, picking it up physically. And yeah, the Power Fantasy is not one to miss out. At this point, I think trade number 1 is out, and then you guys continue reading it, man. It's really epic stuff. Really, really good stuff from Image Comics, especially. Let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it's incredible, dude. It really is like one of the best looking books on stands right now. All the different fighting scenes and stuff like that. But then Juan Ferrer can also do those slow, emotional, brother-to-brother scenes as well. So I've been loving this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series from IDW, and I'm really glad to be jumping back on the ongoing. And given the second chance, I don't think I would have hopped off that first time. I should have just kept it going. But yeah, if I had to restart my pull list, this one would definitely have a spot. 2 more, guys, 2 more. Let's talk about Geiger, dude. So for the same reasons of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Geiger is by far my favorite Ghost Machine title. I'm so glad to be jumping back on the ongoing, and I never should have dropped it in the first place, man, because Geiger has always been my favorite Ghost Machine title. I have the hardcover back there. Really excited to pick up more and more hardcovers as they start coming out. And yeah, Geiger is just my favorite protagonist right now, I think. I think the world of kind of like a Fallout New Vegas sort of world. I'm just loving it, man. Post-apocalyptic, sci-fi, great action, great supporting cast with Nate the Nuclear Knight, Barney the dog, right? Excellent stuff, man, all around from Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. Excellent coloring as well from Brad Anderson on that Gary Frank artwork. Geiger is just incredible, man. So definitely has a spot on my list. And then last but not least, guys, this one squeaked in at the last minute. So we got Exquisite Corpses. I'm just loving the series, man. Everything from Tynion and Walsh. I guess for me, with only issue number 2 out right now, it's hard to say where this series is gonna land as far as greatest of all time Tynion series or whatever. But as of right now, dude, I'm so intrigued by the story, the battle royale kind of setup, the alternate history, sort of like conspiracy sort of thing that I really like from James Tynion IV with series like The Department of Truth, for example. And yeah, really strong artwork as well. I'm just loving this sort of sadistic battle royale killer type of story that they've got going. Exquisite Corpses number 2. I'm excited to see the series play out. And yeah, that's my last series that if I had to restart my pull list, Exquisite Corpses would get a pick, man. So that's what we got. For the indies, we got Exquisite Corpses, we've got Geiger, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Power Fantasy, and we're taking everyone down with us. So those 5 are my indie picks. The Marvel, right? We had Ultimate Spider-Man. I was thinking about doing Ultimates, so I was choosing between these. Same thing though, I think with this series, I could wait for a trade. I would enjoy it, right? Because by far, these are my 2 favorite Marvel series on stands. But if I had to choose only one, I think it would be Ultimate Spider-Man, just so I don't miss anything month to month, you know what I'm saying? And then for the DC picks, we've got Absolute Superman, gotta have it, my favorite DC book on stands right now. We've got Absolute Batman, you never know what Scott Snyder's gonna be doing. Nick Dragotta on the artwork, always epic as well. Absolute Martian Manhunter, just because I gotta have some Dennis Camp representation, and Javier Rodriguez. This is such an incredible series as far as the art goes as well. And then last but not least, favorite Batman book on stands with Batman Dark Patterns. So those are the 10 things that I would choose on my pull list if I had to restart today. Let me know down in the comments, what would you choose for your 10 in your pull list if you had to start today? Thank you guys for watching the section, and yeah. All right, guys, so we have the DC Connect for July. This tells you everything from DC that's coming out in September, right? So you can find these at your local comic book stores. I like going through it. I've made videos like this in the past where we just flip through it, try to find some things that we're excited to pick up, man. So let's flip through, man. Let's talk about DC Connect for the month of July, man. So the big thing that's coming out in September, the new volume of Batman, obviously. So right here on the cover, you guys see it. First page, you guys see it. Matt Fraction coming in, Jorge Jimenez coming in as well. So yeah, man, I'm excited about this new era of Batman, this new volume starting up. Love that the blue suit's coming back. That's really cool stuff as well. We get some cool variant covers. We have this David Aja 1 in 50. That's pretty cool. Might be hard to get your hands on that. Get like a foil variant, maybe just a symbol variant. I don't know if it's foil. Down here we get a Frank Quietly variant as well. So yeah, man, real ton of excitement for this new era of Batman. That costume just looks so sick, man. So yeah, not sure what to expect in the new volume, but Matt Fraction coming in, it's got to be pretty good, right? Red Hood is getting a new ongoing. It's going to be in continuity. It's a mature reader ongoing too, which is pretty interesting. I'm not sure about the writer, Gretchen Felker Martin. Haven't read much of her stuff before, if any. But then we have art from Jeff Spokes. He did a series with Tom King recently, Jenny Sparks, I think. And the art in that was really good. So yeah, in this preview, it looks great too. In continuity, you know, mature reader Red Hood series. That's pretty interesting, man. So working with Huntress on that one. We get, of course, Absolute Batman, Absolute Bane, looks like Absolute Killer Croc as well, so that'll be pretty interesting. We get an Absolute Batman Artist Edition, so this is gonna be the same size as the art board. So if you guys can picture how big that's gonna be, it's gonna be massive. Nick Dragotta's black and white are in depth at a large, you know, size of the original artboard. I mean, that's pretty interesting, pretty cool. If you're into the behind the scenes, the making of Absolute Batman, that's got to be a must pick up, dude. So moving along, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, both series I've really been enjoying. Same thing with Absolute Green Lantern and Absolute Flash. I think that the entire Absolute line, it's all must pick up stuff. It's all some of the better stuff that's coming out of DC. I like that the Absolute line has given them the freedom to kind of push the boundaries, but be a little bit more unique in what they do. So I've been loving the Absolute titles so far, all of them. We get Superman number 30. This one's interesting because if you see here on the cover, we get Booster Gold. There's kind of like a meta narrative going on with the DC universe right now. We have the, what is it? The Darkseid's Legion way in the future, I guess, and they've sort of captured Booster Gold, and that's related to the Darkseid thing, the start of the Absolute Universe, like the All-In initiative, everything that's going on. Kind of like this overarching narrative over at DC. So the Superman title is going to be a big part of that. Excited about that. Adventures of Superman Book of L. So with this, Philip Kennedy Johnson is coming back to continue his Superman saga. So really enjoyed the Warworld saga stuff. And then you get Superman coming back down to Earth. And I just loved everything that Philip Kennedy Johnson was doing. It seems like this is going to be a spiritual successor to that. So pretty cool. Moving right along, we get the Superman Unlimited. Really love that from Dan Slott, Raphael Albuquerque. Great look for Superman. Interesting story so far. Action Comics number 1090. So I was thinking of jumping back on the Action Comics title because Mark Waid writing it. You get the Superboy stuff with Smallville and Ma and Pa Kent, right? So it's very intriguing to me to be in that kind of era. I've not read much of the Superboy in Smallville type of era. So I was thinking of jumping back onto that. I gotta figure that out with my shop. Supergirl number 5. I liked Supergirl number 1, but it wasn't a series that was necessarily for me all the way. So might check that out on DC Universe Infinite. Last Dog of Krypton, been loving that from Ryan North, finding more about Krypton, pretty fun. Wonder Woman, you know, I got some issues on that series. Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman, have not checked that series out yet, but I really do like the Trinity character and all those different short stories they had, so I have to check that series out. Justice League Unlimited, Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League. Continuing along, this is that overarching narrative that I was telling you about, so got the Absolute Power into the All-In kind of initiative. We got the We Are Yesterday mini event, and then we're gonna have the Legion of Darkseid into whatever's going on this fall, like the big DC event. Hopefully it ties in with like the Absolute Universe too. That could be cool. Justice League Red, I don't know too much about that. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. We get Detective Comics. Looks like Mikhail Janin is coming back on. That's interesting. I did drop this title, but Janine was really good on the art. Mikhail Janin. Nightwing, Batgirl, Catwoman, Birds of Prey. Out of these, I'm reading Nightwing, Batgirl, and Birds of Prey. All three really good. Not reading this Catwoman series. Let me know down in the comments if I should. Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Batman and Robin 25, also from Philip Kennedy Johnson. Not reading this Titan series. Moving right along. Batman and Robin Year 1, so good, man. Hopefully it gets another volume. I think it's gonna end at 12. It's a little bit unfortunate. Markwood, Chris Samney there. Batman Superman World's Finest. I've since dropped this title. We have Batman Dark Patterns. Excellent stuff. Probably my favorite Batman book on stands. Batman Last Halloween. We get these kind of fall covers. The interesting one to me was this Nightwing one. Dude, people are so horny for Nightwing. It's crazy. We get the Flash. Green Arrow. This has been a great series. Love this from Chris Condon. Definitely should pick that up. We get sort of a Green Lantern arc. I've dropped off the Green Lantern stuff. Too much going on, man. Too much going on in the Green Lantern series. New Gods have been really good from Ram V. Evan Cagle as well. And yeah, excited to keep it going. I dropped Aquaman, a little bit unfortunate. Jeff Lemire, we're sticking with, dude. We're sticking with Jeff Lemire on JSA. Mr. Terrific Year 1. After the Superman movie, I gotta check this out, man. I really slept on this series. But I gotta check it out. This is kind of cool. So the Batman Second Night. So they're getting another crack at this. Dan Jurgens, Mike Perkins. So that's pretty cool. I like that first volume they did. So we have Kryptonite Spectrum, Superman Kryptonite Spectrum, same team as the Ice Cream Man. That's pretty interesting. Resurrection Man. We get Dan Mora doing like a Power Rangers Batman. That's crazy. That'll be crazy. Moving right along, we had a new series that's focused for, it's supposed to be for all ages, for kids. It's called The Court, Children of the Round Table, written from Tom Taylor. So that might be interesting. Probably not for me, but that's cool. Teen Titans Go. We get some facsimiles. Sure. Okay, and then we get some collected editions back here. We get the Martian Manhunter Absolute coming out. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely got to pick that up. Zatanna. We Are Yesterday, Last Halloween, Robin and Batman Jason Todd. That's pretty cool. Some Green Lantern, some Absolutes. I heard Day Tripper's really good. Still gotta read that. We get some DC Compacts with Why the Last Man and V for Vendetta. We get some DC's Finest as well for Super Friends, for Crisis on Infinite Earths, and for the War series, DC Comics War. That's pretty interesting. Got some compendiums for Injustice, Secret Six Omnibus by Gail Simone #2, some Super Sons trade paperback, and then an omnibus for the Superman event, Our Worlds at War. And this is great. The Human Target Deluxe Edition finally coming out. Excellent series from Greg Smallwood and Tom King. One of my favorite series of all time, so that's cool to get that in a deluxe. Warlords by Mike Grove. That's pretty interesting. I don't know too much about that, but it looks cool. And yeah, Judas Contract Deluxe. That's pretty much it, guys. That's been the DC Connect for the month of July. Everything coming out in the next couple months, coming out from DC in the month of September. So let me know what you guys thought. Any of the announcements in here that really exciting you, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this part.